Alright, so on this next video, we're gonna learn how to now add a collision to an existing static mesh or a existing actor. So first of all, well, I don't have the static meshes added right now because I started a new project. So I'm gonna add the content starter pack. If you don't have it, make sure to add that. Okay, so I added it. Now, if I look at my assets, I should be able to now find the chair one. Let's use the chair one as an example. So what I want you to do is just double click on that static mesh for the chair because now we're gonna see how to exactly work with a collision in this different window. Okay, so now what I want you to do, in my version, you can actually look at the collisions by clicking this eye symbol and then clicking simple collision. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be same for you, but basically try to get this setting working. Just access a showing submenu here where you can check simple collision. And when I do that, as you can see now, the collision of that static mesh is reflected, right? So by default, this is the collision for the static mesh, kind of like surrounding its actor. But we can actually choose different ones. So here, there's also this other part of the toolbar that we can access, this collision submenu. And here, we can actually go ahead and click remove collision to take out this existing one. Now this static mesh does not have any collision, right? So now that it has no collision, we can see and choose different ones here to see how they will look like. For example, if I add a sphere one, you see now it has a sphere collision, or if I added, let's say, a capsule, the capsule is there as well. Right now they are like overlapping. You don't want to have like multiple collisions. You just want to maybe just choose one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove again. And then for our testing purposes, what do I want you to do now? Let's go ahead and add a box collision just to make it simple. Okay. You have many different options here, but let's just go ahead and choose the simple one, the regular box. Okay. So now once you have added your own collision, let's say the box one, you can actually edit it. For example, here you have the regular uh, widgets for moving, transforming, so you can make it look exactly how you want it. For testing purposes, let's go ahead and scale it to make it a little bit larger. Let's say something like this, maybe, like a kind of like a bigger box surrounding the chair. Okay, no, doesn't really matter like specifically how big, just make it a little bit larger than what the chair actually is. Okay, I just wanna make sure to do that to show you something in a minute for testing purposes. Okay, so have the new collision in this way, a little bit more scale, save it, and now we are gonna go back to our level. And now let's see how is that gonna work. So we're gonna go ahead and drag and drop that static mesh into the scene. I'm gonna just move it so that it's kind of like facing our way. So I'm also gonna rotate it in this way. And now let's see how this new collision is gonna react with something with like different actors in the level. So how are we gonna do this testing? Let's go ahead and add a simple cube. Let's go ahead and add a cube. And this cube, I'm just gonna make it a little smaller. So something like this, just a little cube. And then put it somewhere on top of your chair. Okay, so put it high in the air, but make it in a way that it could fall in top of the chair. Okay, something like this. Okay, you can check the angles. but like that, like in top of the chair, but a little bit high in the air. Now I'm gonna activate physics, simulate physics for this cube so that when I run my game, this cube falls into the chair, okay? So now we're gonna see how this collision that we added is gonna interact with this cube that is in the air. So I'm gonna run my game, and then you see this is what happens. The cube basically fell on top of the chair, but the collision is acting as some sort of invisible wall. So that's why the cube seems to float in the air in top of the chair, but it's not actually floating, it's falling on top of the collision of that chair. Okay, so I just wanted to demonstrate this so that you can see how collisions affect the environment with other actors. Okay, so now that this testing has been completed, we're gonna go back to that static mesh chair by double clicking on it. But then our testing is completed, so let's remove that collision we did. And now let's try to add one that makes a little bit more sense with what we have. Okay, the cube one was more to show the example, but what could it be a better option in by looking at all these different choices? So sphere, capsule, and box are probably not what we want because this is not really in a shape of any of these, any of these three. So the ones that we could use are these ones right here, these DOP ones. So these DOP ones are basically collisions that have different amount of phases. Okay, so you know how collisions basically are like many different edges connecting with vertices. So every time there's like a connection, there's like a different phase on the collision. So this is what those numbers mean. Basically, the more phases the collision have, that's the number you see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this last one, the one that has the most phases, the 26. And then this is the one you're gonna get. This is what I was meaning by phases. Basically, whenever you have a connection between the edges, that's a phase, this is a phase, this is a phase. So basically this one has 26, which makes it very precise. The more phases you have in the collision is like it's the most adapted to the shape of your mesh. Okay? So now in this way, when we added this one, now as you can see, my collision is actually very precise to what the object actually is. So let's save this and then let's see how that is gonna react with the cube. So we're gonna go ahead and run again. And as you can see, now the little cube falls on the chair, but now it's more realistic. It falls in the chair and then rolls down into the floor. Okay, so let's make sure we have it same as me. And hopefully with this video you understood a little bit more how collisions work and how we actually add them and adjust them for a specific static mesh.